What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 bad habits I wish I stopped a lot earlier. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Michael Hamilton, salute. Now there's a saying that goes, a smart man learns from his mistakes, while a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Now what I want to do in today's video is give you a chance to be wise and learn from mistakes I should have smartened up about a long time ago. On today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 bad habits of mine that I wish I stopped a lot earlier. Some that I have overcome, some I'm still working on. And I hope through these examples, you can stop some bad habits a lot sooner than I did. So without any further delay, let's hop right into it. The first bad habit I definitely had to work on was this habit I had of listening to reply instead of listening to understand. Here's what I mean. When I was having a discussion, argument, debate, whatever you want to call it, I was always waiting for my chance to talk instead of actively listening and hearing what the other person was trying to say. Now, yes, if I would win the argument, a lot of times I would, that would make me feel good. But was the objective of coming to an understanding achieved? Of course it wasn't, because I really didn't hear the other person. I was more concerned with getting my point of view across. And the goal of most conversations is to come to an understanding. You can't do that if you're just listening to reply. Yes, it may make you feel like you scored a rhetorical point. Both people want to be understood. So make sure when you're having a conversation, you listen to understand, not to reply. Next up is a bad habit I've been working on a lot over the last couple years. That's the bad habit of trying to go to sleep with all the electronics in the bedroom. Now, I'm someone who suffered from insomnia over the last several years. And of course, I'm not making it any better by not making the bedroom conducive to a good night's sleep. One of the worst things you can do is have your brain constantly stimulated by your devices, your phone, your iPad, even a television. This doesn't allow your mind to relax and encourage better sleep. And I'm someone who would sleep with my telephone or iPad in the actual bed. And I wondered why I wasn't getting a good night's sleep. Now what I did, leave all the electronics in the other room, use the bedroom mainly for sleeping and other things. But we're talking about sleep right now. A bad habit that will jack up your sleeping patterns, having all your electronics in the bedroom with you. Next up, we have a bad grooming habit that I had for many, many years. That's washing my face with bar soap. Here's the problem with that. The skin on your face is much different from the skin on the rest of your body. If you use bar soap on your face, it's gonna dry it out. And I definitely was someone who had a lot of dry spots on my face. But what I didn't realize, you need to use a face wash, a soap that's made specifically for cleaning your face. But once I stopped using bar soap, I noticed an instant improvement in the appearance of the skin on my face. Now, just like a lot of guys out there, when I realized I needed to use the right stuff for the skin on my face, I didn't know where to begin. I was concerned it was gonna be too expensive, too complicated, and I wasn't even sure it was gonna work. If you're a guy like that, I've got the perfect solution for you from today's video sponsor, O.G. The skincare system made specifically for men that's simple, affordable, and effective. Now, O.G. is the skincare system I've been using for over 2 years, and I'm extremely happy with my results. O.G. provides everything a man needs for a healthy, youthful, fresher looking skin. They send you everything you need to take care of your skin on a daily basis. For daily use, they provide a face wash and a moisturizer, and for a couple of times a week, a facial scrub. And for us OGs, there's a couple of extra steps. You have a skin tightening serum and an eye cream. And to make it even more simple, I love that O.G. provides you with this instruction card. It tells you what to use, when to use it, and exactly how much of it to use. Now, not only is O.G. very simple and easy to use, it's extremely affordable. O.G. is 25 to 50% less expensive than their competitors. Now, being simple and affordable is great, but it wouldn't matter if O.G. doesn't work. And I'm here to tell you, it definitely gets the job done. Now, not only did O.G. sponsor today's video, if you sign up for your first box, you'll get this free gift of this Teej Hanley Dot Kit. It's a travel dot kit that allows you to put all your toiletries, of course including your Teej Hanley products, in a convenient carrying case. So if you want to have brighter, fresher, healthier skin, make sure you hit that link in the description and get started with Teej Hanley today. It's the skincare system for us guys that's simple, affordable, and effective. Now next up is a bad habit I have to admit I've probably struggled with my whole adult life, and I still have to fight it from time to time. It's the bad habit of procrastinating. Now I have to admit, a lot of times through my life, my motto has been, why do today what you can put off to tomorrow? And I will readily admit, this bad habit has probably had the worst effect on my life over time. Procrastination just slows down your progress to achieving. And here's the thing, the more you put things off, it just snowballs. Whatever you need to get done, it's gonna have to get done eventually. Now, one of the things I try to do to fight procrastination, I'll get the easiest thing done first in the day. This gets me on a path to a more productive day. Get a couple of easy things done, then tackle the hard things. This helps me fight procrastination. It's a bad habit I've had for a while, and I still fight it from time to time. One of the biggest thieves you can have in your life, the habit of procrastinating. Next up is a bad habit that I've had for quite a while, and I'm working on it and gotten better with it. Because I'm a workaholic, my life often can have a lack of balance. I believe that is a big problem. You have to have the proper balance between work, play, and family. Now, what I consider balance doesn't mean 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 work, play, and family. I still believe work is gonna be heavily weighted, but the problem becomes when it's work 90%, family and play 5 and 5. You'll often hear people say life is about balance. Yes, work is important, but if you don't take time to enjoy yourself and enjoy the people around you, your life will be less fulfilling. Now, other guys may have the balance thrown off in other ways. You might play too much, or you might just be out there chasing women all the time. So take some time to analyze your life. Think about which area you need to put more time into it. A balanced life is a fulfilled life. Now, next up is a bad habit I definitely wish I got over a lot sooner. It's the expectation that men and women will think and behave the same way. You talking about a recipe for frustration? This is it. Now, us guys tend to operate more on logic. Women in general operate more off emotion. Not that they don't use logic, they just don't lead with it. They lead with their feelings. And this can be very frustrating for an overly analytical person like myself. When I've had a discussion, argument, or debate with a young lady, I'm expecting her to look at it black and white, like I do. That's a very false expectation. It just doesn't work that way. And here's the thing, it should be okay. Men and women aren't supposed to be the same. You shouldn't want a woman to behave like a man. Do you want her telling you to stop being logical? So stop expecting women to not lead with their feelings. You want a bad habit that will definitely slow down your path to greatness? Do what I used to do. Hang around negative people or people who aren't like-minded. Now, this can be very challenging sometimes, especially if these negative people are your friends and family. A lot of times people who aren't like-minded or are negative can't see your vision, your dream, or your goals, and they'll subconsciously or consciously sabotage you. You need to have the habit of being around positive people, or even more importantly, people who are like-minded, who understand your path. You'll get to bounce ideas off each other and learn from each other. This just isn't going to happen hanging around negative people. Having negative people or people who aren't like-minded around is like carrying extra weight on your back. It's going to be a lot harder to get to your goal. Next up is another bad habit I'm still working on. It's the bad habit of not being present time conscious. Now, what does that mean? A lot of times when I'm performing an activity or a task, I'm thinking about the 4 or 5 things I gotta do tomorrow or the next week, or even later that day. It leads to a lack of focus on the job at hand. What being present time conscious means, you're paying attention to what you're doing now. You're focused on the task at hand and not the other 3 things you have to do later that afternoon. If you have your focus split between what you're doing now and what you have to do in the future, neither task will get done at 100% proficiency. Try to remain present time conscious. It will get the job done that you're doing much better, and it'll allow you to focus on the next job when it's time for that one. Next up is a bad health habit I definitely wish I stopped a long time ago. It was the habit of eating too quickly. You set a plate of food in front of me, 5 minutes later, that food is gone, scarfed down. And here are several reasons why that's a bad idea. One, I'm a food lover. What time am I really giving myself to enjoy and savor my food if I'm scarfing it down? I'm not. Secondly, eating too quickly can lead to bad digestion. Digestion actually begins in your mouth when the saliva breaks down your food. If you're scarfing it down, your digestion is less efficient. And thirdly, eating too quickly actually makes it difficult to keep the weight off. Do you know that if you take your time with eating, after about 20 minutes, your body will start to feel more full, satisfied. But if you eat too quickly, you aren't allowing time for that mechanism to kick in. You'll have the habit of eating more. So if you want to savor and enjoy your food, have better digestion, and keep the weight off, eat a little bit more slowly. Next up, I'm going to share with you one of my worst financial habits that definitely would have helped if I cut it out a long time ago. It's the bad habit of only paying the minimum payment on my credit card. Now here's the thing, at least paying the minimum payment does help in two small ways. It helps keep your account in good standing and you avoid late fees. But other than that, it really doesn't help much. Credit card companies actually want you to pay only the minimum payment. That's how they make the largest amount of interest on your purchases. But paying up and above the minimum brings the balance down a lot more quickly. And of course, it results in you paying less interest on the money you spent. And I used to wonder after 2-3 years, why did I still have a credit card balance even though I hadn't bought anything else? Paying a minimum payment. One of the easiest and quickest ways to financial freedom is reducing your debt. Start with paying much more than the minimum payments on your credit card. Now, of course, nobody expects you to be perfect. We're all gonna have bad habits. But what you wanna do is acknowledge the ones that are having the worst effect on your life and try to work on them. And as I mentioned in the beginning, be a wise man. Learn from my mistakes that I didn't smarten up on a lot sooner. Do me a favor, make sure you let us know in the comment section some bad habits you've been working on and ones you advise the Style O.G family to try to avoid.